Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Downtime Re-Up. And man, it has been a week and a half since we last talked to y'all. We had some complications last week that didn't allow us to record. And this week, obviously, with Thanksgiving as well, made it hard, but we're still doing our best. You guys will see we're in a completely different setup here.
Yeah,
So it's going to be with Xavier today. George is a little bit busy, but
and he's
that's
a
all right. We'll
fraud.
make
He
do
doesn't
with
want to
that.
join.
Yeah, he's got some work, actual work and schoolwork to do. But me and Xavier are here, and we're gonna go ahead and give you y'all's re-up
Mhm.
from last week, and then we should hopefully it's gonna be an episode like this probably. If we can
This
make it,
Friday as
you'll have a
well.
re-up for everything that happened this week as well. Yeah. But going back to, I guess, the last few weeks, we're gonna start with the Mavericks. So I think the last place we left y'all at was the Clippers Mavericks in season tournament game. Um, that for us went particularly well. James Harden
Amazing.
struggled quite a bit. He was definitely not accustomed to being on that team yet. He still, got a lot of play time, but he didn't do much with it. And I
Yeah,
think overall it was a pretty dominant performance from the Mavericks. Um, we had Luca doing Luca things, dropped
Luca hates the
44 in
Clippers.
32
Oh
minutes.
my lord.
Yeah, it's a reoccurring theme from us every single time. I mean, Luca just hates the Clippers, and
Mhm.
I thought Luca hated the Clippers because of Morris, but I mean, I think he just hates them. I don't even think it has anything to do with Morris anymore
Yeah.
because I don't even think Morris is on the Clippers anymore. So
No, he's not.
so that was that. We got a good double double from DJJ. He's been superb. Timmy looking like a six man of the year, and Kyrie doing Kyrie things.
Yeah.
But going from that game into the next one, we had
We had New Orleans
we had
Pelicans
the
two
Mavs
times in a row. Yeah.
Pelicans game. Yeah, we had them two times in a row, and the first game looked great. It was 136 to 124.
Mhm.
I thought personally that the game margin was much bigger than that. I think in the fourth quarter, it kind of just got close because we're like, okay, this is in the bag. Let's go ahead and
Yeah.
get over this. And I think it was just pretty much domination from the whole game from the Mavs. But in the back to back, we lost to them in the game that mattered on
Oh
that
yeah,
ugly
Luca.
court that they made. That
That court looked terrible.
it's
First of all.
Luca shot terribly. Yeah, and it was funny because a lot of people were like, "Oh, maybe Luca didn't like the court, or it was messing with our players' vision and stuff like that." But
Mhm.
I mean, it looked like we just completely got outpaced. I mean, the Pelicans
Yeah.
looked like they couldn't miss a shot. They were up and down the court constantly. I think Luca had like almost double digit turnovers,
It was
and
pretty
I think
close.
that
He
was
had
like
seven
in
the
the
first
first
half.
half. He almost had that.
Yeah. Our
He
highest
did
scorer
7 in
was
the first half.
Kyrie that game with 17.
Kyrie,
Yeah.
yeah, 17 points that as a
That's our highest
highest
score is
score.
crazy.
That's Yeah, that's definitely not gonna cut it. And even Jason Kidd, he came out after the Mavs Bucks game, which we're gonna talk about in a sec. He said that
Mhm.
our best defense right now is offense, and he didn't say that as in that's our plan, but right now it looks that our defense is struggling so much that you know you're not gonna win these games where you're letting your opponent score 130, 140 points. It's just not possible.
No.
Maybe you'll be able to pull through something like that. Because I mean, even today, I think the Pacers beat the Hawks like 157 to 152. But that
Holy.
is such a rare occurrence. You think a team scores 152, they're winning that game 99.99% of the time.
Hmm. No defense going on in
But
that
but
game at
yeah,
all. I
yeah,
think
yeah. There was no defense going on that game today.
the game after that one would be the Wizards. I think that one was a blowout. as well, pretty much 130 to 117. Man,
Yeah, yeah,
if I'm
definitely
right, that's
pushed
when
it up further than.
Hardaway just went off, right? Yep. He had 31 points,
Yeah,
7 from 11 from 3.
yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
like I was saying, he's looking like a six man of the year candidate right now. And I think
Oh
if you
yeah.
actually look at the odds, he's number one or number two for best odds to be six man of the year, and that that comes with reasoning. He's been fantastic. He's been a spark plug off the bench. Really, he's what I want Hardy to be off of the bench. I want a Hardy just to be that offensive spark plug, putting up points, putting up shots. And in a sense, Hardy is doing that, but in a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
Hardaway is doing it day in, day out, putting up points, putting up shots,
Just
and
chucking
he's
shots.
draining them. And I hope this
Yeah.
isn't just yeah, I hope this isn't just like a little streak that's happening, and then here in a few games he's gonna cool down, and then he's gonna be throwing up bricks. I really hope it doesn't do that, but that's something we're accustomed to with Hardaway.
Hmm.
We'll be like, this guy is definitely worth his money, and then after a few weeks of that, for like a month or two, he'll look terrible, and we'll be like, why are we paying this guy so much money? Trade
Yeah.
him as soon as possible.
I remember those talks. It was all over Twitter last year
Oh,
for a couple weeks.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I think like everybody this summer, what we wanted to happen was Powell to be traded and Hardaway to be
Mm.
traded, and neither of them got traded.
Yeah.
They're both still here, and uh, you know, unfortunately, as for Powell, I think I think we actually re-signed Powell. We didn't trade him, but um, we got him for a great deal. He isn't getting paid a lot. He's a veteran. He's typically a good field goal percentage guy from inside the paint. And for the price we got him at, I don't think it's a bad signing at all. I don't mind him coming off the bench and giving some life. I think it's fine. But moving on to the Mavs Bucks game, um, it's just for me that was a bad game officiating wise. You'll
Mm.
see
Oh
if you'll
yeah,
follow us on
definitely.
Instagram, downtime underscore re-up, that man, I did complain a little bit about the refs, but also our fourth quarter 3-point shooting was terrible. Xavier, can you see how many points we would put up in the fourth quarter compared to the Bucks?
We had 27 points compared to their 43.
Yeah, I mean,
Holy.
43 points in the fourth quarter, that's terrible. And going back to, last year, one of our biggest complaints with the Mavericks was clutch time and not being able
Hmm.
to finish off games. And that's exactly what this game looked like. And it wasn't a lack of opportunities. It wasn't, a lack of being able to put shots up, because we put up plenty of shots.
Oh yeah.
Um, but we just missed them. We weren't hitting
Mm.
anything. And we took the ball out of Kyrie's hands for some reason and gave it to Luca. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Is there a way you can see like what the fourth quarter shooting percentage for us was? Is that possible?
Fourth quarter. Let's see if I can look at it. No, it's
Maybe
just
like
giving
a
me
shot
all
chart,
around like the full game.
the full game.
Yeah, like full
Yeah,
game,
but
we
I mean,
shot 34% from three.
34% from three. I mean,
Yeah,
that's not bad. But what did the Bucks shoot?
they shot roughly. Let me go down. 37.8.
37.8. Yeah, I mean, you think 34 and 37% is not big of a factor, but that's one, two, 3 pointers that went in for them that didn't go in for us.
Yeah,
And that was really the deciding factor of the game. We lost 125 to 132. So, I mean, it looked good for us the first three quarters. Well,
yeah. The
mainly the
third
second
quarter,
and third quarter.
mhm.
What happened in the third quarter? You're probably gonna say what I was about to
We,
say.
it's yeah. So we pretty much did the exact same thing they did to the fourth quarter. We scored 40, they scored 29, and just nothing you can really
Yeah,
do about
I
that.
know that in the first quarter it wasn't looking great, and in the second they started bringing it
Hmm.
back. In the third quarter they had a great surge, and I think at the beginning, the fourth, we looked good too, but then just it was terrible after that. But the Bucks are one of the best teams in the league. Giannis, one of the best players in the league. I think we definitely held our ground for the most part, and I think 8 out of 10 times that game ends with us winning instead. So
Yeah,
although I'm upset we lost, I'm happy we were able to perform. And our defense can only improve. Our defense has been terrible. If our defense just improves a little bit, we win that game by 10. So, and then after that is the Kings versus Mavericks game. I didn't watch that game. So I'll just let Xavier take it away because he's the
yeah, I
one who
did
has the
not either.
stats open. So he'll just give y'all.
Yeah, give me one
He'll
second.
give
Also
you
on the Bucks
a
game.
little stats review.
Oh Lord. I was still trying to find the fourth quarter shot
Oh, the fourth
percentage.
quarter shots percentage.
Yeah, I couldn't find it
Yeah.
anywhere. Oh, oh nope. God. Oh Lord. All right, there we go. We lost 129 to 113. Definitely not something. Honestly, Sabonis went off, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
32 points for the game. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that really shouldn't happen, but
Yeah.
this is something.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's something that's sometimes bound to happen. I think it's another situation with kind of with like Jokic, a more
Mhm.
mobile can shoot from range, kind of 3-point center
The thing is that
that
he didn't
is
shoot
really out of
from
Lively's
range.
depth.
He went
Oh, he
0 for
didn't.
2
What
from
what did he
3.
shoot? Oh,
It
so
was
he
he
was just
was
tearing it
six
up
for
on the inside then.
yeah, he was 6 for 10 from the free throw, 13 out of 15 in the paint, pretty much, and in the mid range.
Wow, 13 out of 15. That's
hmm
terrible.
So the only time
And
he ever missed was those two threes.
can you see Lively's plus minus?
Plus minus, yep. Give me 1 second. -16.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, there you have it. I mean, I think it was
Well,
just a clear mismatch for Lively.
if we kind of look at everything, Jones Jr. had a
Mm,
-21. Kyrie had a -19. Everybody was
mm,
negative
yeah.
in double
And I'm pretty
digits.
sure that -19 came from, I think Darren Fox was probably just
Darren Fox,
cooking
yeah, 30.
Kyrie.
Grant Williams is the only one that
Yeah.
had under double digit negative.
Yeah. I just think it was a bad game for us. I mean, and
Mhm.
it wasn't even a turnover problem this time. The Kings had more turnovers than us. But I mean, let's see. The Kings had 58 points in the paint. They
They were shooting
had
lights out.
three
Actually,
more offensive rebounds than us. Yeah.
they shot
Um,
almost 8 9% higher than 8% higher than us in three. They shot 3.3% higher than us field goal wise. Well, I
Damn.
said three point
I mean,
three.
yeah, I'm seeing it here now too.
Yeah,
They literally they shot better than us in every single factor. 53% from the field, 42% from three, 76 from the free throw. And you think 76 from the free throw is not even that good, but we shot
and you look at
73% from
us.
the free throw.
Yeah.
And then we shot
Yeesh.
35% from three and 46% from the field. And you're just not going to win games, at least with the identity of our team, if we're getting outshot from the three. If we're getting outshot from the three, we're probably going to lose the game. And that's probably what it came down to, really, just getting outshot from the three, and then
Yeah,
Demontis Sabonis
especially
just
if like
dominating on the inside.
the only people scoring double digits is two of your superstars, obviously Kyrie and Luca, and the only other person to go over double digits is Hardaway and Josh Green. You need more people,
Yeah, we
really, especially out of your
we
starting
need
lineup, 6, 6, and 7.
mhm.
That's absurd.
Definitely need a lot more out of at least Grant Williams or DJJ's got to be going off, from
Mhm.
three. You got to be able to let them get their shots up, and they need to be able to drain them. If Grant's not shooting them, then we need DJJ to be draining them. And if not DJJ, then Josh Green. Somebody in that starting lineup or coming off the bench needs to be on it, hitting threes.
Mhm.
And if just for some reason nobody's on it, then we're not going to be winning any games. Sometimes here and there, Luca will be able to carry us with a 40, sometimes
But
even a
he
50
can't
point
do it
game
every
to carry
game.
us. But yeah, he can't do it every game, and neither can Kyrie.
Mhm.
So we just need
I have a
the
question
supporting
though.
cast to show up. Mm.
Where is Seth Curry?
That is a great question. Uh, I do think that sometimes you could call for some more Seth Curry minutes, but
Hmm.
it's almost as if like, okay, where would you put him? So right now we have
That's
Dante
true.
Exum and Jaden Hardy as our guards off the bench, right?
Hmm.
Dante Exum's been spectacular, especially for getting him for what we got him for. Big guard, great, vision. He's able to finish at the rim. His 3 point shooting is okay, not something he's really known
Yeah.
for. And obviously, Jaden Hardy is another just a point scorer off the bench. And then you think about Seth Curry, and you're like, okay, what would be the upside of getting Seth Curry onto the court? You'll have some more 3 point shooting, and that's really about it. You're not really gonna get anything on
True.
defense. You're not gonna get much assist wise, and it's just really another Tim Hardaway Jr. That's just at this point in his career not really as good as Tim Hardaway Jr. So although it's great
Yeah.
having Seth Curry,
Hmm.
I just don't know how you would incorporate him into this lineup unless somebody goes down. If Hardy goes down, if Exum goes down, if THJ goes down, boom, you have Seth Curry to plug into that spot, and you're not too concerned.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I think Seth Curry not getting many minutes or no minutes at all, it's not going to make a difference if he starts getting minutes.
No, yeah, but especially I thought once we got him we got him this summer again. I thought we'll see him a little bit more in the offense, but really since we ever
Mhm.
got him, it's barely been on the court. I expected a little bit
Yeah,
more, I guess.
yeah, yeah, I agree. But so
The
going
upcoming.
into our next sport,
Mhm.
we're gonna have the Cowboys. So we're gonna be talking about the Cowboys versus Giants game, and we're gonna keep the Panthers game for this next episode that we're supposed to have on Friday for y'all. But the Cowboys versus Giants game, I mean,
That was destruction. What do
nothing
you expect?
short of just obliteration. I mean,
Yeah.
the Giants were playing Tommy DeVito,
Hmm.
from who knows where. I think he was undrafted, and Tommy DeVito was 14 for 27 with 86 yards. Am I blind or am I reading there?
Oh,
86
hold up.
yards.
I was looking at
And
the complete wrong score. I was looking at the first Giants game.
bruh, and two touchdowns and an interception. And those two touchdowns came third quarter and fourth quarter
Hmm.
whenever we were already taking out most of our guys. I think Dak was out of the game by the third quarter. You know how
Man,
crazy it
Dak
is to
threw
be able
for
to take the
400
quarterback
yards.
by the third? Yes, he had 400 yards and he didn't even finish the third quarter.
Yeah.
That's insane. That is so crazy. 400 yards, four touchdowns, and an interception. And I mean, it's crazy how well Dak was playing. It
Hmm.
was, just one of those performances where you're like, okay, this is our guy.
Yeah.
I
Especially,
believe that
definitely.
he can do well. He is going to be able to perform like this very often, and I think that this agenda that Dak can't play big games, that he isn't good in the big moments and stuff like that, it's not a good one. He showed
Hmm.
that the week before against Philly, where he outplayed Jalen Hurts
Oh, he
by
absolutely
a
outplayed him.
mile,
I honestly feel like we should have
and
won that game. But that
yeah,
was
we
last week.
definitely should have won that. But yeah, I mean that's actually 2 weeks ago now.
Oh, two
So
weeks, almost
um,
three now. Holy.
yeah, it's that's in the past, but still, Dak Prescott outperformed Jalen Hurts, who all of a sudden, for some reason, Jalen Hurts is an MVP shout, and I don't know where that's coming from because Jalen Hurts has been not terrible, but if you want to call somebody a game manager, you're gonna call what Jalen Hurts is doing right now as a game manager, not
Yeah.
what Dak is doing. All the time, people are like, Dak is a game manager. Dak is a game manager.
No,
No, dude.
no,
Dak
he's
is
not.
not playing like a game manager right now. Dak is playing like a superstar quarterback, an undoubtedly
What
top
we
10
paid him to
quarterback
do,
who
really,
can lead his team in the
and
playoffs.
exceeding now.
Yeah, and he's exceeding expectations. Yeah,
Hmm.
everybody was like, "Oh man, Dak is going to be terrible. Dak's going to throw 100 picks. come back to this tweet in the middle of November and Dak will have more than 10 interceptions. You know who's almost at 10 interceptions? Jalen
Who
Hurts. Jalen
Jalen
Hurts
Hurts?
is
Oh
almost at
yeah,
10
I saw.
interceptions.
Well, only
Dak
thing
is
that he got
only
going
at
is that little tush and push they got.
yeah, and
Mhm.
half of Hurts. Something I saw from today was Jalen Hurts now has more rushing touchdowns than Cam Newton.
Oh, I saw that.
Well,
Yep.
if you see Jalen Hurts' rushing touchdowns compared to Cam Newton is literally running over linebackers at
Yeah.
full
40
speed.
yard
While Jalen Hurts
sprints.
got pushed by two tight ends or a lineman at the
Hmm.
1 yard line. I mean, when you think about there's levels to this, there's levels to this.
There's yeah.
Cam Newton clearly is the better rushing quarterback
Yeah. I'm looking at the receiving stats. We had two receivers over 150 yards that game. Two. That is insane.
against
We had CD with
the against
151,
who?
and then Brandon Cooks for 173.
Oh yeah, against the Giants. Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
whoever had for some reason was forced to play Brandon Cooks that day on fantasy, congrats, because you got like 20 something points out of a guy who probably isn't gonna score that again for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Although it's cool seeing Brandon Cooks get involvement. I like his little arrow celebration too. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, CD, no doubt, no question, number one receiver. I remember in
Oh,
the
yeah.
offseason, Richard Sherman was saying that CD is more in the group of, Jalen Waddle and um,
Definitely not a Jalen Waddle. Not even
KJ
close.
Osborne and Devontae Smith. And it's like, no, man. CD is a number one, a clear number one. Every single Dallas Cowboys fan could see that. And every single Dallas Cowboys fan was calling for the ball to go to CD. And
Mm-hmm.
now Mike McCarthy sees this just like, you know, all of the Cowboys fan base saw all this time. He's giving
Mm-hmm.
CD the ball. And now you see what's happening.
It's
CD's
going
having
off.
100-yard game, 100-yard game, 100-yard touchdown game. I think he's the first player or the second player behind Megatron to get what was it, 3 or 4 150-yard and one touchdown games in a row? In a
I think
row?
I think it was was it four? No, I think it was four.
It might have been 4.
I
But
think it was.
anyways, being having a stat and being right next to Megatron, I mean, you're gonna sit there and tell me that's not a number one guy? It's a number one guy, and he's gonna be making number one money.
Mm-hmm.
And every single Cowboys fan is gonna tell Jerry Jones the same thing. Give him what he wants.
Yeah.
Whatever he wants, give it to him. Because he's a guy. He is a guy, man. And I'm happy I kept him on my fantasy team because everybody all year was telling me trade CD, trade CD. I'll give you this,
Whoever was
I'll
saying
give
that
you
is
that.
absurd.
He's not doing well. And it's even crazier because everybody in my league is Cowboys fans. I think everybody's in my league is Cowboys fans except for like one guy, or I think he just hates Dak or something like that because he's always talking shit about him. But I didn't trade CD, and now I'm probably gonna make the playoffs. So I think I
Would
made a
that
good
be
call.
your first time or second time making the playoffs in your
No, no,
league?
no. This would be my third year in a row making the
Third year?
playoffs.
Third year in
The
a
only
row?
year I didn't make the playoffs was the first year.
I remember. I couldn't
So
get it right. I remember you telling me about it at one point.
yeah, the
But I
first year
think
is when
that's
I
when
didn't make it.
you told me to join y'all, and I was like, "How good? I'm not gonna catch up with that stuff." And y'all put some big bucks on there too, and I'm good.
Oh yeah, I think the buy-in is like $180 or something like that.
180. The last time you told me it was like 50.
Yeah, no, they've been raising it um
Holy.
a lot. But it's because everybody's serious about it, man. Everybody puts
Oh
in the
yeah.
time, everybody puts in the effort, everybody's on the waivers. Which speaking of, the waivers are actually supposed to be going through 12 minutes ago.
12 minutes ago.
um 12 minutes ago. Yeah. I don't think I need anybody anyways. But yeah, Xavier, continue talking about talk about the rushing game. How was the rushing game looking like from this game?
Honestly, it was really well. Obviously, our offense was going crazy, but Dowdle. had 79 yards and 12 carries, 6.6 average with one touchdown. Tony Pollard,
Mm,
still not a good game, crazy game so yet. Haven't had him really break out so far this season. He had 15 carries with 55 yards. Not what we want from our
mm-hmm.
technically our star running back right now, or at least our starting running back.
Yeah.
And after that, it will be Dak Prescott with 17 yards and two carries. And then
Mm-hmm.
we had CD. I remember it wasn't it the sweep that he
Yeah,
scored
he
off
had
of
a sweep to the right side
to the right
that
side.
he
Yeah,
scored.
that
Mm.
was 14. He had one carry, he had a touchdown. The only person that did not score off a rush was Tony Pollard.
Yeah, man. It's been, I don't want to say frustrating, but I'm definitely happy we only gave him a franchise tag
Hmm.
because right now Rico Dowdle to me is looking like Tony Pollard from last year, what he looked like for Elliott,
Yeah,
where Elliott was struggling as the number one guy and we needed somebody with a burst of energy, and Tony was giving us to that last year, and I feel like this year Rico is giving us that.
yeah. It's
So
always our backups going crazy.
yeah, it's always a backup going crazy, but I think you still have to be understanding of Tony Pollard just came off of a big injury.
Hmm.
He's still making his way back. It's going to take time for him to get to 100%. But I really want to see that 100% before the end of the year. So we
Yeah,
know just in kind of what kind of value that he really has. And we're not just paying him a number of the what he can be. I want to pay him for what he is right now.
yeah.
If you're just paying off of people off of potential, that's how you end up with bad contracts. So
We
we
don't
need
want
to
none of
know
that.
what he is. What happened?
I said we don't want none of that. No hanging money around or nothing that we can use for other
Right.
players.
And especially we're gonna have to be paying Parsons and CD,
Hmm.
and Dak soon again.
That's gonna be a
We don't
big
have money
portion.
to just be throwing away.
Yeah.
It's definitely a you can't be just giving out hopeful contracts. I hope he comes back to what he was a year ago.
Hmm.
If you're thinking that, don't give him that money, right?
Yeah. And then
So,
our other
lastly,
coming up star player too would be Bland. He also had an
all right,
interception that
Deron
game. And
Bland. Yeah, we gotta pay Deron Bland too. I'm pretty
hmm
sure whenever Gilmore's contract is up, we're just gonna let him walk. I don't see us giving him a contract to come
I
back unless
don't
it's
think so
super
either,
cheap
but
for some
he's
reason.
been really helping us though.
Yeah, Gilmore has definitely been a help with Diggs going out, but I think whenever his contract's up, he is gonna be a little old.
Oh
So unless
yeah.
he's willing to take that Dallas discount, then I think we should be okay with him walking. We'll have Diggs, who's already paid for. We'll have
Hmm.
Bland, who's gonna get paid, and I don't like Jordan Lewis being our third. Um, I'd prefer somebody else, maybe like Mukamu, end up developing more. Maybe we bring back Kelvin Joseph. He looked pretty good in the slot because Kelvin Joseph just got released by the Dolphins because we traded Kelvin Joseph a few weeks ago to Miami. He got
Hmm.
waived, so maybe we'll bring
Yeah.
him back. He looked pretty good in the slot, um, but we'll see. But moving on from that, the final thing we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about a little bit about the Dallas Stars. So I know many of you don't know much about the Dallas Stars. If you want to know a little bit more about them, follow us on Instagram, downtime_re-up. We'll post clips, give you a little review on what happened in the game, keep you up to date with where they are in the standings. Same thing with the Cowboys. Same thing
Hmm.
with
Any
the
related
Mavericks.
sports.
Yeah, really, any DFW sports, you're gonna be kept up to date with any rumors like the Rangers and Shohei Ohtani stuff going on. Any trade rumors with the Stars or any rumors there
Hmm.
was with the Cowboys, but that deadline's gone. But who knows? We could be maybe making a waiver wire pickup. Darius Leonard, I think, just got waived from the Colts. Xavier, is that right? Darius Leonard.
Cool. I believe so, if I'm right. I think I did see it earlier. Uh,
What are
yeah,
you
I found
clicking?
it right here. Yeah.
Loud click.
Did here doing. So
was I right on the name?
who? Hold up,
Oh my goodness.
dude. You gotta understand, man. Everything's loading. It's taking forever.
Okay, I got it. I got it. Shaquille Leonard. Shaquille Leonard.
I
Shaquille
was like, I'm
Leonard,
just,
the
I'm
linebacker.
just loading in the data star
For
scores right
us,
now.
bruh. For us, Shaquille Leonard would be a fantastic pickup. Shaquille Leonard is a great player still, aging a tiny bit. Yes, most football players are, but still would be a fantastic pickup considering Leighton Van Resch is probably not coming back
I
ever.
don't think so.
He has
That
that
man's had
neck
so many
issue.
neck
It's very
injuries.
yeah. Yeah, and he's had many injuries. And I think we gave him like a 1 year prove it deal or a 2 year prove it deal, something like that. So
I have his
I'm
jersey
pretty
too,
sure we're never
man.
going to be seeing Van Resch in a Cowboys uniform again. What happened?
I have the veteran Leighton Vander's jersey. That thing costs
You
$300.
have a Leighton Van Der Esch jersey. What caused you to
hmm
buy a Leighton Van Der Esch jersey?
I liked his celebration. Really?
The Wolf Hunter.
Yeah, bro. I loved
That
it.
is a pretty hard celebration. I do like it too.
But
That's up there
now
with
seeing him, he did good his first 2 years. Oh, it's really his
no,
first year
he was
here.
fantastic.
Yeah,
His first year, his first 1 2 years was fantastic.
you just don't
He
expect
was looking
a
great.
player like that to be getting injured constantly, especially from the neck.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So,
his first 3 years, he looked like a Sean Lee regen, bro.
hmm
But obviously injuries are derailing his career to the point where he might retire. That's unfortunate,
yeah.
but these things happen in sports, and you got to make the most of the time that you're able to play. So
hmm
going
You don't
with
got to
the
tell me twice.
stars. Oh yeah, you with your freaking spine falling off and stuff.
And then my meniscus, yeah, cooked.
All right, and then your knee slipping off the bone.
Yeah, I'm cooked when I hit 40. I'm not moving no more.
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna have to
mean,
you're gonna have to
I don't
start
even
pushing me
play sports
around.
no more, and my knees are falling apart, bro.
Well, you've always been like that.
Oh,
I feel like anytime you step on the court, you're just gonna fall apart.
it doesn't help that you've pushed me into poles and into the ground.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, next subject. All right, we're out of here.
Oh, so the Stars, they've been great. They've been great. The Stars have won 6 of the last 5 games. Their only loss was a terrible loss that makes me very upset. We were up 3-0 and we lost 6-3.
Oh, to the Avalanche
Terrible.
right here. Yeah.
Yeah, to the Avalanche, which the thing that makes it worse is that the Avalanche are who are on our ASSs. They're right behind us points wise. We are
hmm
3 points ahead of them
3 points
with
ahead
the
of
same
them. Yeah.
amount of games played.
Ooh.
So that comes in clutch that the Avalanche are still behind us. But if we would have won that game, it would have been a much bigger margin, and it should have been. We should have won that
So
game.
they would have felt a lot more comfortable. Most definitely.
Definitely a lot more comfortable, but still a long, long season ahead of us. We're gonna have to be
How many games do
consistent.
they play
Regard.
in a season?
I don't
You know,
know.
why does it go?
Like 80?
Oh,
Are you sure?
80?
Is it gonna load?
Yeah, it's loading. Oh, it's not
I
giving
think
me a
it's
number, but
80.
I'm just gonna count everything, I guess. Holy,
Um,
that's that's a lot of games. I'll tell you that. I'm not counting all that though.
it
It's
is 82 games.
holy. So
I was
pretty much
close.
almost like a whole, not almost a whole, but almost similar to baseball in a way.
No, it's not.
Kinda.
They play like 100 and something games in
Yeah,
baseball. It's similar
that's
to
like
basketball.
that's what I started trying to bring back. I said almost the same, and I was like, wait a minute,
Hmm
they play way over 100 games.
They play over. There's teams that lose 100 games in
Yeah,
baseball seasons. So
yeah,
they
yeah.
play well
Don't
over
worry
100
about what I
games in
just said.
baseball.
It's late at night, man. I can't think. You know what? I give up.
Oh, But yeah, I mean, other than that, we beat the Blue Jackets, the Winnipeg Jets, Minnesota Wild, which, for those who don't know, that want to become Stars fans, we hate the Minnesota Wild. So anytime you hear the Minnesota Wild, anytime you hear other downfalls, pray on it because that's what we
Oh,
like around here.
we go against the Golden Knights today at 8:30 p.m.
That is a big game. So then we
Absolutely.
also beat the Arizona Coyotes and we beat the fake Rangers, the New York Rangers,
Dude,
six to
that gave me so
three.
much trouble when we ever talk about like the Texas Rangers. You'll always bring
Mm-hmm.
up the hockey team, and it'll piss me off.
Yeah, no, there's only one Rangers in these parts, and that's the
Yeah,
Texas Rangers.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know
the
about these
Golden Knights.
frauds.
Golden Knights took us out the playoffs last season. It was pretty
Hmm.
disappointing, to be honest. We didn't really put up much of a fight, even though we did win. I think we won 2 games. We still didn't feel like we much put up much of a fight. One of the games went into
Yep.
overtime. I was up to like 1 in the morning watching that game, and I think whoever won that game was going to be whoever took the series because the other team got just the soul sucked out of you. You know,
Yeah.
imagine playing 3, 4 overtimes and then losing that game. The amount of energy you exerted, it's crazy. So I think beating them is going to be a great statement game. You know, they're also top of their division. They're Pacific. We are Central, and they're 13-4-2. We're 12-4-1. So they have played 2 more games than us. They have 3 more points than us, but they're on a 2 game losing streak. So we have a chance.
Hmm.
Not just because they're on a 2 game losing streak, but because we're a great team this year.
Yeah.
But that's
Man, I
gonna
need to get
be
into hockey.
you're gonna get into hockey.
I'm trying my best to get into everything. You just recently got me into F1.
All right, yeah, man, we're having a lot of fun watching F1 now. I had nobody to watch F1 with me, but now I have Xavier, so I'm
Yeah.
having a good time with that.
I just be sending him TikToks about everything I see on F1 now. Whatever's on my For You page.
Yeah, and half of it's stuff I've already liked to reposted. You're just sending it to me
Dang.
again.
Oh, I do. Whoops.
Yeah, but no, no, like today I mean, you didn't send it to me, but I saw that you liked my one of the Checo Perez edits that I reposted. I saw that
Oh
you
yeah.
liked it, and I
I
just
saw it
watched it
after
again.
I saw it after I got out of basketball. I was like, what the Dang, that was a
Yeah,
few days
Checo
ago you
Perez, what a
reposted
guy.
that? Holy.
Yeah, no, that was like a week ago that I reposted that,
Oh, whoopsies.
and I mean, it was a great edit. It was a great edit,
Hmm.
but yeah, that I think Checo being on the Red Bull team was what put the nail in the coffin for me to be a Red Bull fan because obviously me and Xavier are both Mexican American and Checo is a
Hmm.
Mexican driver
Mexican.
and
Yep.
Max Verstappen is the best driver in F1. So I mean that was it. That was the recipe for success
Yeah.
for me to become a Red Bull fan.
I don't know who I'm a fan
Anyways,
of really yet. So I'm just still trying to learn F1 in general before I pick a team. But
oh, I
the
kind of just
F1
figured
game we've
that you
been
were going
playing.
for Red Bull.
Well, honestly,
You're not
who's
officially a
not
Red
gonna
Bull
like
fan yet,
Max Verstappen? All right, but I don't want to pick the
right?
same
Who
team
doesn't
as
love
you.
a
I
winner?
always do that. So I'm gonna
Yeah, I
branch out
mean,
this time.
there's a lot of teams, you know. You got Mercedes, McLaren. I think McLaren's like my second team. I love Lando Norris. Lando Norris
Hmm.
is so cool. AlphaTauri has Alpine.
I
There's
might just go with
a lot of teams.
Ferrari because Leclerc always cooks me in F1.
Ferrari. No, I hate Ferrari. I hate Ferrari as much as I hate Mercedes. Man. Anyways, this is not an F1 podcast,
Oh yeah, my
Xavier.
bad. Oopsies.
And
Got a little sidetracked.
I think we've gone on long enough.
No, yeah, for sure.
So thank you, everybody, for coming and getting your re-up this week. Hopefully, we'll have George here for our Friday episode, our regularly scheduled Friday
Hmm.
episode. And,
It, it might be a
huh?
little later than usual, just because I'll be out of town. I don't know what they'll be doing, but I'm gonna try to find a suitable time for me to be able to record with them, with the boys.
Yeah, busy time here, Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Anyways, thank you for guys for coming, getting your re up, and we will see y'all in the next episode. Peace out.
Adios.